Donald Trump still really wants you to believe that he has nothing to do with Project 2025, the right-wing manifesto for his second presidency. But take a look at this. That is Donald Trump on a private plane in April 2022 with Kevin Roberts, the president of the Heritage Foundation, the organization behind Project 2025. They were traveling together to a heritage conference where Trump spoke. At this point, the Trump-Vance effort to run away from their ties to Project 2025 are frankly laughable. J.D. Vance wrote the foreword to Kevin Roberts' book. The publication of that book has now been postponed until after the election, of course. That's because they don't want you to know what they stand for. But Project 2025 is literally available online. And it's important to know what is in it, since it is the real Trump 2025 agenda. And it is a stark contrast to what Democrats are offering, like what it would mean for American workers and organized labor. Today, the Harris Walz ticket was in Michigan, meeting with members of the United Auto Workers, just one of the many unions to endorse Vice President Harris and Governor Tim Walz.
Look, and this thing of playing dumb while he sits on the planes with these billionaires and says I don't know anything about Project 2025. I just fly on the planes with them. You know what it's going to do? One of the goals of that, plain and simple, and they know this has been going on forever. Get rid of labor unions and get rid of the voices that we bring. They can do whatever the hell they want then.
Governor Walz knows what he's talking about. He is a former union member as a teacher, and as governor, he showed up at a picket line alongside striking auto workers last fall. So what does Project 2025 want for America's workers and organized labor? Well, to allow states to ban labor unions, as you just heard Governor Walz say. It would ban all public employee unions. It would also let states waive national minimum wage and overtime laws and eliminate child labor protection so that kids could work in places like mines and meatpacking plants. Joining me now is Jody Calemine, Director of Advocacy for the AFL-CIO. Thank you so much for being here. Let me just add one more thing. Project 2025 calls for Congress to pass something called the Teamwork for Employees and Managers Act, or TEAM Act. It's a bill that undermines union bargaining power. Guess who two of the sponsors are? Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance also opposes the PRO Act, which would expand protections for workers who want to unionize. This is scary stuff, and it would really hurt a lot of workers. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. Thank you, Joy, for having me on here. And thank you for doing all this work, exposing Project 2025 to the country. It's vital that people know what's in here. Project 2025, as you have pointed out, it's a 900-page document. There are a lot of weedy details in there. And as you go through it, you can get lost in those weeds. And I would like to lay out the bigger picture for labor that's in that document. I think their proposals fall into a few buckets that when you take a look at them overall, it will reimagine our society, reimagine our lives in a very dark and twisted way. Like you said, there's a category of proposals that sort of eliminate the floor from workers. That is, they want to go after minimum wage, overtime. They want to go after child labor laws. They want to turn more people into independent contractors so they have no rights whatsoever. Now, we've been seeing those kinds of proposals for years from anti-worker organizations. And so, that we've seen those before. But what we haven't seen before is the rest of it, which I think is very, very nefarious and dangerous. And not to say that the rest isn't. And I'd love to talk you through a bit of those other categories of proposals.
Please do. No, please.
So the second category of proposals have to do with civil rights. They're going after workers' civil rights. They go after an agency or an office within the Department of Labor that does really strong civil rights enforcement against federal contractors, but they leave the EEOC in place. And the reason they leave the EEOC in place is they want to turn Title VII on its head and weaponize it against diversity, inclusion, and equity. They want to weaponize it against employers that put on anti-harassment and anti-racism training. In other words, they want to normalize everyday racism and sexism in the workplace and in society. So that's civil rights. Then they privilege employers who are religious, that is, religious bosses. And so those religions will trump the civil rights of workers. If you want a job, if you want to keep your job, if you want to get promoted, you better comply with your boss's religion. And then, as you pointed out, the TEAM Act, which is incredible when you dig into like how that fits into the bigger picture. When they go to labor law, they're going to weaken private sector unions and replace them with unions controlled by companies. And then they want to totally eliminate public sector unions.
Wow. I mean, this is scary stuff. And again, it goes right back to this sort of religious indoctrination and like you said, trying to take us back to like the 19th century, which they thought was, I guess, the ideal era. Just to let you all know, viewers, who would be affected, how many people in swing states. In Michigan, there are 564,000 union members. That's 12.8% of all wage and salary workers. In Pennsylvania, it's 749,000 workers, 12.9% of the working population. In Wisconsin, it's 205,000 union members, who are 7.4%. Nevada, it's 171,000 union members, 12.4%. President Biden won these states in 2020 by, small numbers, 154,000, 81,000, 20,000, 33,000. So this is literally the difference, Jody, in whether or these states' workers will be able to afford their lives, will be able to work without persecution, will be able to work at all.
Absolutely. And if you're a union member and you're watching, here's a proposal to keep in mind. Everybody's going to have another contract coming up, another set of contract negotiations coming up. One of the proposals is to turn all of our employment laws into something negotiable. They won't be a requirement anymore. Here's how that will play out. You're building up to go fight for a 10% raise because of rising prices in daily living. You want a 10% raise. When you show up at the bargaining table, Project 2025 and the second Trump administration will have made it legal for that company, for your employer, to make their opening wage proposal to be 10 cents an hour with no overtime pay. That is because the Fair Labor Standards Act will now be negotiable. So now you're going to fight like heck to try and get just up to the minimum wage again. Forget about the 10% raise. It is going to affect workers' bottom lines. And when it affects union workers' bottom lines, it affects everybody's bottom lines. Everybody's pocketbooks are hurt because union contracts set the standard for industries.
For everybody. And I will just say, as we're out of time, but don't be fooled by the no tax on tipped workers. Know that most tipped workers don't make enough money to pay taxes. So they would get literally nothing, but they would allow hedge fund managers to say, no, don't pay me a salary. I'll get my money in tips and then pay no money on it. So it's all a trick to turn us back to the robber baron era where workers had no rights. Workers had no rights and made almost no money. Jody Calemine, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Please come back because we're going to keep talking about this stuff. Thank you.